Look at these terms in relation to a graph. So here we have x, or domain, which is all the x points on the graph. Range refers to all the y points on the graph. Independent is just the x variable, and dependent is the y variable because y depends on x. Now let's look at an example. So here we have a cutoff version of the graph y equals 2x. The domain, which is the x values of this graph, would be from -1 to 1. So let's just write this one. -1 to 1. But now let's look at the end points. Here we have a closed circle, which means it will include the -1. But here we have an open circle, which means it does not include 1. The way we write the answer then for domain of x would be x is greater than or equal to -1, but it's only less than 1. We don't write less than or equal to because it's an open circle, which means it will not include 1. Now let's look at range, which is the same thing as we did with domain, but in terms of y. So it goes from -2 to 2. So let's just write that down. -2 to 2. And now let's look at the endpoints, just as we did for the domain. This is a closed circle, and this one is an open circle, which means that y would be greater than or equal to -2, but it's only going to be less than 2 because this is an open circle. And here we have our example of how to use domain and range.